Tuesday. We are back after a long, long time away, but we are back here and we got some breaking news. Today we had a lot of stuff to go through, but first, I'm Bobby Thompson.
I'm Julian Gallardi, and there's two stories actually, and one of them's not very well. I don't like either of them, honestly, but the second one's worse than the first one, honestly. But all right, we're gonna start this with Mike Trout, even though we're wearing Yankee stuff. Yep. That was the big fish today, literally the big fish.
Yeah, literally.
Here we go. So we were talking about Bryce Harper's contract a few weeks back, and now that contract got blown out of the water.
That's
by
putting
the
it
Anaheim
mildly.
Angels.
Mildly.
So here we go. Trout got that paper. 12 years,
430
million big ones. The first contract ever over 400 million in any sport. He's also netted $577 million in his career now, which is the most of all time by any athlete.
God.
Mike Trout is really making that paper.
That's putting it mildly, and rightfully so. This guy...
He's deserved it, though.
Today I talked to a few people about... They asked me, in our generation, and I'll ask you too, they asked me who they feel you can compare Mike Trout to.
I have someone, actually.
So I said this. I said...
There's two, in my opinion.
In all of baseball, I'm going to compare Mike Trout to Mickey Mantle. I think he could do it all. But I said also he reminds me of... In our generation, somebody asked... I said he reminds me of a Vladimir Guerrero type player.
Interesting.
Except he doesn't have that strong of an arm like Vlad had.
Yeah,
but I think
not
he
many
has
people
that.
do.
So
that's not
what
a knock on Trout. I'm going with Ken Griffey Jr.
Okay. That's a good one.
I think Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Trout are very comparable because actually Griffey was better in the field, but Trout could have been a better hitter because Griffey's won a bunch of Gold Gloves back in the day with Seattle.
Right.
Trout doesn't have any Gold Gloves yet, but last year he actually was up. I think he got an award. Some defensive award for the best defensive player, but he didn't get it in the outfield for a Gold Glove. So, but he's still a good defensive outfielder. There's a lot of good defensive outfielders, but I'd say Ken Griffey Jr. because they both affect the game. They're both 5-tool players. Like back in the day, Ken Griffey Jr. For those that don't understand, this guy was a savage. This guy was a beast. He had the smoothest swing I've ever seen. Every left-hander wants to be like Ken Griffey Jr. The backwards hat, he brought swag to baseball. And Ken Griffey Jr. was one of my favorites. He was so good at everything.
He was so fun to watch too.
He was a beast.
Like you couldn't when your team played against him, you hated him, but really in the back of your mind, you really didn't because he really wasn't a bad guy. He was really a good guy.
Well, when he went against us, we weren't really watching much yet because back in the day, the Mariners, those late '90s teams are very good. The 116 games.
Too.
Yeah, Alex Rodriguez, Randy Johnson, those were the boys. And I also think Trout actually compares to Alex too in a way, even though they play different positions.
I'm going to tell you this. Literally, two people today said that. And I was going to get to that. So he really, you know what?
Those are my favorite two comps for Trout.
In my opinion, let me ask you this. Comparing to Alex, I don't think he had... Do you think the power number... I know Alex...
No.
Like just a player situation.
Yeah, I don't think the power numbers don't match Alex, but the average may be better than Alex ends up being. Yeah. So, yeah, it's hard to match Alex's power numbers. He hit 30 homers for 13 straight years or something, I think, Alex. So I was looking at the other day. It's insane. I think from 2007 to when he's... I forgot the exact stretch, but it was 13. It was a 13-year stretch almost for 30-plus bombs for Alex. But anyway, let's go into there's one piece of news we need to get to, but we're going to go back to it later. Dylan Betances, unfortunately, before we started the show, has added to a laundry list of injuries for our New York Yankees to start the season. Now, there's been a lot of disconcern. Betances trying to play it off, Aaron Boone trying to play it off, but now we see that there's a problem. For those that don't know, Betances was late into camp because of the birth of his child, which is fine, obviously, it makes sense. No one's knocking him for that. I mean, it's your kid. You're gonna baseball second when it comes to that. I mean, I agree with what he did, but the problem with it was that he was behind schedule because they had started throwing already, and his velocity was very, very, very low. Because sometimes he starts in the spring low and everyone's like, okay, he'll get back up, but it's about 10 days till the season. It hasn't got back up. I think he's topped out at 92, and this guy throws 100, so that's why...
92?
This isn't good, brother. That's why they had to shut him down, unfortunately, and it was revealed with shoulder inflammation, which is the same thing Sevy has, which is also worrisome. Then you have CC Sabathia, who's slowly rehabbing his way back. But he'll be playing at some point in April. I just don't know when. He's not seriously injured. He just has to build himself back up. And then we have the situation with Aaron Hicks, obviously. He's not going to play the opening series. What am I missing any other injuries?
As of right now, I don't think so. Let's hope. Knock on wood. Let's hope not.
Stable, okay. So those are like the major ones. If there's anything minor, it escaped me, but I don't think there is because I follow this team very closely. So it would surprise me to a degree. Oh wait, there is one more actually that's significant. Esteban Florio.
Oh yes,
that's a significant one because he's our best trade chip and arguably our best hitting prospect. So that's a tough blow for the team as well. He had a wrist injury, I believe. I'm not sure if he got hit with the pitch or he crashed into the wall, but regardless, his wrist is hurting right now. I don't know how long it's going to take to get him back, but he was not going to contribute to the major squad anyway this year, but it's just a tough blow because there's two reasons why. Because he's your best trade asset if you want to go get a big-time pitcher, which we'll get into later. And then also, he needs these reps to get better and get himself ready for the majors. I believe he's a double-A player at this point. He hasn't hit triple-A yet, so he still needs to work out some rough patches in his game. He's a 5-tool player, potentially. I saw him bad at spring training. I was like, damn, who is this guy? I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
He has a nice stroke. He's got that nice lefty swing. Some people say he reminds them of Bernie Williams. I mean, I don't know if I would go that far yet, but that's a nice comparison. And Bernie was a switch hitter, obviously, but I guess from the left side, maybe they see something that resembles it. So yeah, hopefully he gets back soon because we're looking forward to seeing him play if he gets through the system or if we need to use him to get a pitcher to complete the playoff run in this season, then that'll also help us. But enough of Florio for now. This is a day about Trout, and I just got to break down how absurd Mike Trout is for some people. So I'm going to go through his season last year. And there's the reason why I picked him first in fantasy baseball. Yes, he's the first pick. Someone was trying to say Mookie Betts is better. I'm like, nah, slow your roll with that.
Who said that?
I'm not going to say names, but someone was trying to say I think Betts may have a better season. But I was like, nah, no. He was better last year, but here's the thing with that. Trout only had 471 at-bats. He still put up over 10 wins above replacement, which is absurd. He had 147 hits, 312 batting average. He struck out 124 times, but drew 122 walks, 39 homers, 79 RBIs. And, by the way, he also stole 24 bases and got caught stealing twice, which is a percentage of about 92. So tell me what he doesn't do on the baseball field to warrant being picked first, especially in the fantasy drafts. But even outside of fantasy, this guy's the best player in baseball by a wide margin.
That's agreed 100%. The guy is an absolute stud. I said it today. He's everything you want in a baseball player.
Yeah.
And some. He's a great teammate. He never talks about himself. Mm-hmm. Comes to play every time. He plays injured. He comes every day ready to go. And the way he plays is kind of contagious. When you play with somebody like that, you definitely want to be just like that.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Trout, people will say, and I'm also critical of the Angels, not him, but people will be like, oh, like, why are you paying Trout all this money for no playoff wins? Well, you see, it's not basketball or football in the way that one player can influence a game. Mm-hmm. You need at least 3 or 4 solid bats in the lineup, and you need at least 2 or 3 solid starters, along with guys in the bullpen, too. So Mike Trout, for as great as he is, and he gets you 10 wins by himself, if he's not being helped, it's not enough. You can't compete. And the Houston Astros, who's in the division, are about 10 times as deep as the Angels are, about every position besides the outfield.
Yeah.
Because there's no area the Astros aren't better in besides that.
It's just...
So it's not his fault. The Angels need to surround him with more talent.
Yes.
Ohtani was a decent start, but he got injured. So the Angels spend money at times. They tried with Albert Pujols, but it was a bust. So I can't blame them for trying. I mean, he was the best. He was actually the Mike Trout back before this happened. He was the best player in baseball by a wide margin.
And someone compared him to Pujols as well.
Him and Miguel Cabrera were the best too for a while. Back in that time period when Pujols linked up with the Angels, he was the best player in baseball, bar none. So we'll see how the Angels can adjust with this, see what they can do to help. And I just want to go over some stuff for Trout's career. In his career, he's played in about 8 seasons around. he averages around 8 wins above replacement per year that he's played in.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 307 average, 416 on base percentage, 240 homers and 648 RBIs, and he's also stolen 189 bases. He's been caught just 34 times, and that percentage is around 83.
So that's tremendous, absolutely tremendous. So
yeah, it's unreal how good this guy is. It's just that people don't understand because he plays in Anaheim. He doesn't get those prime games, which is why I was hoping. Obviously, there's no reason why I wouldn't want us to get him. I mean, he's the best player in baseball, so obviously I want us to get him. But even if he had went to the Phillies, I would have liked that move, especially for them, obviously. But it would have got him more prime television. Him and Bryce Harper would have been insane together. But here's the one thing that everyone's missing, and I'm gonna quote Gettleman now. We didn't sign him to trade him. Could it be a situation like that? Maybe one could dream. I mean. But it's not as crazy as it sounds. Like, I'm not saying Trout's going this year or next year, but let's say they can't compete. Like, they can't get anyone to help him. They continue to be losers, and his contract prohibits them from adding talent in certain areas. They could get a massive, 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 massive return for him. Like, probably the biggest return in any trade in MLB history.
Absolutely.
Because he's paid under contract now. You don't have to worry about paying him. And it's not an overpay, as crazy as that sounds. It's not at all. He's worth every penny, maybe even a touch more, honestly.
Yeah.
The only thing that's problematic about this is that he's 27 right now. He turns 28 next year, so this contract's going to pay him till he's 40 years old. But Bryce Harper's going to pay till he's 39, so, I mean, that's what happens. The big guns get played till their 40s. But Trout may be better than all these guys before him. Yeah. He has the chance to be one of the best to ever do it if he keeps up this pace.
Absolutely. And you know what? I can see it happening. You know what? I want to see him get a ring. I think he deserves it.
He definitely does.
Unfortunately, I don't want him to win with talk about trading him. I would love for him to win a ring, just not with the Angels. And I mean, if he does, I'll be happy for him, of course. But I think that, you know what? I think that he definitely does need some more talent around him. You're absolutely right.
That's unquestionable.
And he does it all by himself. I mean, 10 wins above replacement's astronomical. So
yeah, that's like 2 or 3 players combined on good teams. Like, there's good players that average like 4 to 5 wins above replacement, and that's like you're basically Trout's like 2 players, like 2 above average players, not even mediocre players. Like he's probably like 3 average players.
I agree.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, Mike Trout is the king of baseball, and he earns his money, and now he's getting paid.
Ever since he came into the league, he's been extremely consistent.
Yeah, like every year he puts up crazy numbers.
Yes, he does.
There's no year you could be like, oh, he didn't have it this year.
No,
like,
I have a question for you.
What's up?
So
I'm looking at the Angels depth chart right now to try to see like how I can see their season going. But go ahead.
My question is, Mike Trout, is he usually RBIs? Does he always go 100 per year or not really?
Well, what happened was this year he had the injury. There were 2 problems with Trout. I'll tell you why. The RBIs this year was only 79, but he missed time. I'll go through his whole log and tell you though. Let's see. I'll tell you.
Because I usually think like he's at least getting 100 RBIs usually. Okay, I didn't think he hit.
Let's see. I think let's see his. I'll tell you all the years he's done 30 and 100. Okay, so. He's played in the league predominantly he's played for 8 years, but, okay, actually, no. He's actually played for 9, but one of them he didn't really play. Oh, no, it is 8. I'm sorry, it's 8. Okay, let's reset this. It's 8 years total, but he really only fully played in 7 of them. Mm-hmm. The first year he didn't play much, so throw that year out. So, in 2012, his first year, 30-83. Mm-hmm. His second year, 27.97. Mm-hmm. His third year, 36.111. There you go. Then 2015, 41.90. 2016, 29.100. 2017, 33.72. And then 39.79. Okay. But here's the thing with that. He also missed time in 2017. Only played 114 games, and he still put up 33.72 even though he missed over 40 games. And this year he missed 22 games, and he still put up 39.79. He walked 120, and he walked. Let me get the walks. He walked 122 times. even missing all those games. And his on-base percentage was .460. It was almost .500, dude. He was almost on base one out every 2 times.
I literally was just about to ask you how his on-base percentage is. So,
it's absurd.
So, look, all this aside, the guy is just
phenomenal.
It's amazing just how good he is, and I love his attitude. I love the way he plays the game. He's not smug. He's not all about himself.
And he runs everything out, unlike Harper and Machado, which is a big point.
You know what? From now on, here's what we're gonna do. When the season starts, when somebody doesn't run,
we're gonna give him the dog award or something.
Yes. If you're not gonna run
maybe
your ass to first base,
maybe we get some sound effects going too.
Yes.
Have a dog barking.
So seriously, if you're not gonna run to first base, and Julian's father, who knows a lot about baseball. People, when you don't run a ball out to first base, and you, oh God! And I'll give you an example. There's somebody.
We can do a dog award of the week, maybe. Maybe we can do this like a weekly thing.
We're gonna start doing that weekly. Whoever does not run out to first base, you ground out, and you want to walk to first base like
or a pop up or something.
And like a certain person in San Diego right now who likes to do that, Mr. Johnny Hustle.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna get the big dog award. So you want to be a dog, listen, Bryce Harper. I want to see his intensity.
I would worry about his less than Machado. To be honest with you, but I think when Harper hits a pop-up, sometimes he might not run or he might jog a ground ball, but at least he didn't come out and say, I don't hustle. That's worse.
Yeah, no.
At least Harper was tries to hide it somewhat. Robinson Cano did the same thing, but he never said, I don't hustle. We would just assume, but there was no issue with it.
Well, we all know that Manny Machado is definitely not the smartest person alive, so why you gotta run and say stuff. But
and then he said something else that was pretty stupid too. What did he say when the Padres got him? He basically said we're getting second place. He's like, we're not gonna get first. He's like, we're looking for the wild card or something like that.
That's just honestly, you know what? If you go,
he's probably right, but you don't say that.
No, you literally, and honestly, I never realized this, Jules. I know we're getting off topic.
And he also said, I didn't come here to be the guy. He's like, I'm gonna have help. He's like, it's not just about me. He's like, it's this full team, which I understand in some aspects. But dude, they paid you $300 million. I think you're the guy, man. I don't know what else. I don't know who else is the guy, but you're the franchise, dude. Have fun.
You took a few months of everybody's time.
3+ months.
Of literally included everybody, including the two
Horrible
of us.
Reporting, bad speculating. This team, that team. He's coming here then. This deadline, that deadline. Nope, and nope. You signed with the Padres. 2 weeks into spring training. I mean, ridiculous stuff. But what were you saying?
No, I was saying honestly, I lost my train of thought, but I'll get it back in a second.
We were talking about how he took forever to sign. We were waiting 3 months.
No, yeah, he took 3. You took 3 months. You wasted everybody's time.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, you decide. Listen, I understand you wanted to go to San Diego. They gave you what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see literally all these comments that he makes. That's a red flag. And honestly, you know
that's
what?
That's why we didn't get him. I still think we didn't like that. The hustle, this and that. The words he was saying. I think they were also afraid, even though I don't believe this, but I know there were certain fans that did not want Manny Machado. I feel like the older generation, not to single them out, but I feel like mostly the older people did not want him, and I feel like people our age, in their 30s,
of course,
wanted him because
we know what he's
it's just because they come from a different era. They don't tolerate certain things we do. We don't see the running as big of a deal. We just see the stats, and we're like, oh, this guy's really good. Oh, he has a good glove. Oh, we've seen him kill us before.
Absolutely.
And I still stand by my stance that I want us to sign him. That hasn't changed, but we have to move on, obviously, because we didn't sign him. But it's just interesting because the divide in the fan base may have caused part of us not signing him, I feel like, and also, like you said, the hustle comments didn't sit well with how the organization was very divided on if they wanted him. That's a fact. It was 50-50 inside the organization almost. I feel like some did, some didn't. So it's hard to invest. I will defend that point by them. I haven't said this publicly, but I'll say it now. It's hard to defend investing $300 million in someone if you don't fully believe in them. So,
agreed.
I mean, I get it.
So, you know what? We wanted him. You know what? It is what it is. I'm very happy. You know what, Jules? You're right. We're very happy with our lineup.
We still have a good lineup.
Even
with Hicks being out.
We got Gleyber Torres playing a full season with us. We got Andujar, who's really working hard. The one thing I love about watching him is how he's really working on his defense.
Yeah, that's the one thing we gotta hope improves.
We
the
don't
bat is there, obviously.
The bat is there.
I never questioned the guy's bat.
It
was just a defensive thing. The gap between Machado and Andujar defensively is still tremendous, so that hasn't changed no matter how much better Andujar gets. Machado is one of the best third basemen in the game. To me, he's first or second. I'll say second because Arenado's ridiculous, so maybe the second best defensive third baseman. I would also throw Chris Bryant and Matt Chapman into that category because those guys can pick it too, and they both make a lot of good plays. So those are, but like you said, the third baseman and stuff. We're gonna go through our lineup soon, but I want to look through the Angels depth chart and see what's going on with them.
Let's go back to that then.
And then after that, we'll go to the Yankees. We'll talk more about Dylan, and we'll see who we want to make the opening day roster with all this new interesting injury stuff. So a lot of different ways that this can get done now.
Right. Okay.
So I want to go back and forth with you and see how you feel about certain things.
Right.
So let's open up the Angels depth chart. Okay. So. First baseman, Justin Bour, Albert Pujols, DH. That's not the worst situation. I mean, Albert's not good anymore, but Bour might be a nice buy low, bounce back candidate. I can see him doing well for them, potentially.
You know what?
And he mixes up the lineup with this left-handed bat, but go ahead.
You know what, Justin Bour, I actually think he's decent. I know he's not.
I'm still behind Bour a little bit, too.
Listen. This guy is a lefty bat, and he could crush it. So
he can still get them he can get them 25 homers, 80 RBIs if he's on.
Of course, yeah. And you know what?
That will really help them.
Him going there, he signed with them, right? I think.
Yes, Bour's with the Angels.
No, I'm saying he wasn't traded. He was signed.
Yeah, he was. The Phillies rented him. He didn't really work out so well there. He was a free agent. So, they did a nice buy low deal. I actually did like that.
Low risk, high reward. So
yeah, I like that move for them. Okay, then second base is Dave Fletcher. I'm going to be honest. I don't know him too well. But
I think Zach Cosart is better than that guy.
Well, David Fletcher, he's a raw prospect. He hit 275 in a few at-bats last year. Maybe they're going to give him a shot. I don't know. I don't know the Angels well enough. Aldridge Simmons is a great shortstop. Very good defender. Underrated bat. Very high contact, low strikeout guy. He can make almost any play in the field. One of the best defensive shortstops in baseball we have right now. Now, Cosart is actually going to play third. That's why he's not going to be over at second. Okay. So Cosart's all right. I like him a little bit. Last year, he put up he got injured last year. Okay, you know what? Throw that year out. 2017, he had 24 homers and 63 RBIs back with the Reds. He also missed time that year as well. But Cosart has some potential if he stays healthy, so we can leave that at that. Yeah. Also, another nice buy low I liked for the Angels was Lucroy, the catcher. Remember how good he used to be?
Of course.
So
he still could play.
Yeah, and especially with how horrible the catchers are after Gary Sanchez and JT Realmuto. And I'll say Realmuto's better since Gary had a slide. So Gary's got to show us something this year. But JT Realmuto's the best catcher in baseball right now. I can't really debate that with anyone. And the Phillies got they're going to steal with JT, honestly. I think he's going to do wonders for them. And his numbers are going to be through the roof at that bandbox. Just watch.
Absolutely.
I'm keeping him in one of my leagues, actually, because the catcher disparity is so big, I don't want to let him go. So I'm going to keep him and
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
My two keepers, so I'm going to have fun with those two. So that's their infield. And then the outfield, the lineups, you got Mike Trout, obviously.
Of course, there you
go. Justin Upton on the left, he's a decent player.
Yep.
The only issue with him is that he's a high strikeout, very streaky, not going to hit for a high average, but his power numbers will always be there. And then you got Cole Calhoun's an interesting case. This guy used to be pretty decent, but he's fallen off a little bit the last few years. Last year, let's see what. He was also. Well, no, okay, let's see. Calhoun. Okay, so last year he had 500 at bats. He had 19 homers, 57 RBIs. Let's see the batting. Hit just 208 though. He's got to get his average up. He's been sliding lately.
A 208 batting average in the league. You see it a lot with the power guys, but it's really unacceptable.
He's not he doesn't hit well
he's
enough
not power.
To
No.
that.
That's
he
a problem.
Needs to get his average up, but. Yeah, but their lineup's not too bad, actually, especially with Trout being in it. You could do way worse. The more concern I actually have with them is their starting pitching. That's pretty ugly.
Who's their ace?
Tyler Staggis is their ace. And Staggis is okay. You see
my face, just
he's not an ace.
I thought the Yankees pitching rotation was trouble.
Oh. No. You haven't seen nothing. Wait till I go through this one.
Oh,
he's 8-10 with a 4.2 last year. That's their ace.
Disgusting.
So that's not pretty at all. Then they have Andrew Heaney. who was only 27 years old. So maybe he has some potential, but he was also 9-10 with a 4. And these are the top 2 pitchers, and they have ERAs over 4. And then Matt Harvey's their 3.
I forgot Matt Harvey.
And then Trevor Cahill's their 4, who's a journeyman. And then this guy, Jamie Barea, let's see him. He's their 5. And he actually better than I thought he would be, to be honest with you. He has a 3.14 ERA and 129 innings. He did give up 17 homers, though, which could be a red flag.
Yeah.
And 98 strikeouts. But so that's their starting rotation, and it's putrid. It's probably one of the worst in baseball. And without Ohtani, this is dreadful.
It's absolutely...
It's laughable, honestly, how bad it is. Even if these 2 guys do better, what's behind them?
Matt Harvey?
Oh, Jesus. Good luck with him. Imagine they turn him around somehow. They're going to need to if they want to compete, though.
Like, he goes back to what he was with the Mets when he was...
not that great, but, if he can pitch in the 3s somehow, get some strikeout stuff back, gut through 5 or 6 innings, maybe get some quality starts in there. I'm not expecting the Dark Knight to come back ever, but...
No! So you're not expecting
the
Dark Knight to rise.
No. And they also picked up Cody Allen, who I think is a scrub. I really don't like Cody Allen at all. The Yankees used to tattoo this dude, and we probably will again this year if we see them. His ERA was a 4.7 last year. The year before was a 2.9, so he was good, but he somehow still saved 27 games. I don't know how. It must have been cardiac for the Indians last year. And then, but now he's not their problem anymore.
I like that you used to tattoo him.
Yeah. So hopefully we see him again this year.
I'm sure we will. We'll tattoo him some more.
Yeah, probably. So that's the Angels' outlook. And honestly, to me, this team is still no better than the 3rd-place team in their division.
Yeah,
because I still think Oakland's better than them.
Yeah.
Even though Oakland, did they have a crazy year? Wasn't a miracle year in a lot of formats? Yes, it was. Did they overachieve? Yes, they did. But they added Profar, who I like is a decent pickup. Their rotation's very problematic, though. Still, but their bullpen is still good. Oakland, their lineup is very formidable too with the A's. So I think they're still going to be better than the Angels, honestly.
Yeah.
And obviously the Astros are a cake of that division still. No one's taking them out. Even with their questionable rotation a little bit after Verlander, Cole, and I guess McHugh would be their 3. They also signed Wayne Miley as their 4. So it's not... Their rotation's still pretty solid.
My question is this. They don't still have Morton, right? Or they...
Morton's with Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay.
And then McCullers is injured. So he's not going to be pitching this year. And Dallas Keuchel's still without a job, which we'll get to in a second. Yeah. But, so that's that. Angels are still going to be 3rd in the West, probably. And I don't see them making the playoffs still. They have a lot of work to do. The only thing we didn't add is that Ohtani's going to hit for them this year, I think.
Just not pitch.
Which will help their lineup. So the lineup's really not my concern. Like I said, their pitching is awful, though.
Of course.
Just awful.
Yeah.
There's no sugarcoating it.
It's putrid.
It's
garbage.
Yes,
basura.
It's tough to look at. But so all right, fine. Let's just talk about the 2 fish that aren't unsigned. So Kimbrel and Keuchel, we've been talking about these guys for 4 months now. They're still not signed. They have 9 days to figure it out. I don't know what to even say anymore about the situation. I don't know where they're going to go. I don't know what their contract's going to look like. At this point, it's anyone's guess. I have no clue. Do you want to throw some guesses out there just for fun? We'll see what you can muster up.
Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna add.
We've done this about 5 times on the show already, probably guessing these 2 locations for these guys, and we're flip flopping a million times. But all right, so what do you think?
So I'm gonna start off and I'm just gonna.
I can't believe we're still talking about this.
So I'm gonna bring up again how bad free agency in baseball is. It needs to be fixed. It's pathetic. I'll give you an example. The NFL free agency started last week. It was over by the start.
There's a couple people left, but all the big fish for the
most
part
all the big fish are gone, and it ends like this.
We're really just waiting on Houston and Ziggy Ansah at this point.
We're waiting on some big names, but
maybe some trades before the draft. But like you said, all the big high impacts except for those 2 are basically gone at this point.
So I'm just saying
baseball needs to fix their system.
Yes, they need to fix it. I'm tired of the waiting games, but with this stuff, I think Dallas Keuchel, obviously, I would love to see him in pinstripes for us.
I don't see it.
Honestly, in my opinion, if you really want me to ask me where I think he's going to go, Obviously, with the situation in Houston, I think he's just gonna go back there. I think that's where he's comfortable. I think that
you know what?
They're gonna really give him what he wants now because they're gonna get desperate. So I could see that with Kimbrel. You know what? I was gonna think he was gonna go back to the Boston. I don't think that's gonna happen.
There's no way.
I thought maybe he could swing into Philly. Maybe they would want to spend some stupid money on him. No, they're not gonna do that.
I don't think so.
I could see him. You know where I could see him actually going?
What's up?
I could see him going to like a team that you would not expect.
Like someone random. Somebody, I have two actually.
I'm gonna say this.
That might jog you.
I think he's going to go.
I want to see if you get one of my two randoms.
Let's see. I could see him going to like a Seattle, maybe.
Ooh, that's what I was going with. My two random ones for him, Twins and Rays.
Twins and Rays. I was going to say Rays.
They have talked to him, but if I had to actually guess, man, this is so difficult.
It is difficult. It's like really tough.
I would, you know what? You know what? Braves. Braves are going to get one of them.
Yeah?
Braves are going to Keuchel or Kimbrel, in my opinion. Because they've sat in their hands. They need to do something to respond to Philly. Philly just bought half the MLB.
Yeah.
So I think the Braves should wake up. I mean, Josh Donaldson's a good player, but he's not what he used to be. And they brought back Brian McCann. Whoop-de-doo. Come on, Braves. You're kind of sleeping at the wheel here. Also, Fulton Evans is not pitching opening day, so they could use the depth and rotation. And you could always use an extra piece in that bullpen. But if I have to actually think about this, I'm going to surprise you, actually. I'm going to say Keuchel goes to the Mets.
The Mets, really?
Out of left field. I think the Mets are going to dive in and get him.
I honestly, thinking in my head, I was going to say the Mets would get Keuchel, but
I'm going to say Braves, Kimbrel. Braves, Kimbrel, Mets, Keuchel. Those are my interests. Those are my guesses.
I was going to say the Mets get Kimbrel, but then I realized how good their bullpen is.
Yeah,
they're okay.
Diaz.
But you know what? Keuchel going to the Mets is pretty intriguing.
It makes sense because they need help in the back end. Their top three is very good, but Matz and Vargas do not expire.
No.
Matz is getting tattooed in spring, by the way. VJ has been telling me that he's really pissed with Matz right now. Matz, I think, he gave up 10 runs in 2 innings, I think, the other day. I'm not a big spring guy, but that's alarming.
Yeah, it's definitely alarming.
That's not something you want to see.
No, especially with 9 days until the regular season begins. So
yeah, that's not a good sign for Matz.
No.
But, yeah, that's why I think Keuchel makes sense. The problem is the Mets are so cheap. I just don't know if they're going to be willing to spend what he's looking for. But at this point, he has to come down and be like, yo, I'm not getting what I want. The season's about to start, dude. You might have to do a 1-year prove-it deal at this point, or 2 years.
I think Dallas Keuchel, you know what? I think, absolutely
what choice does he have at this point?
A 1-year prove-it deal would suffice. And I think you can prove it. I don't think you are what you used to be.
No, that's the other issue. He still views himself as that same dude, but he's not that dude anymore, which we've already talked about his decline, so I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah.
And Kimbrel is still a great pitcher, and he's racked up a bunch of saves. I think people are concerned about 2 things with Craig Kimbrel. First of all, no one's given him 6 years. He's out of his mind for even asking that.
Yep.
Second, he's not Mariano Rivera, so that needs to be put to bed also.
Agreed.
Third, he showed very bad signs of fatigue and wearing down in the playoffs. He looked horrible. He got very lucky. It was the Red Sox year. Everything went in their favor. He gave up several runs at a time without blowing saves.
Yeah.
We almost beat him in that game 4. We had the bases loaded, and Sanchez took him very close to the track.
Yep.
Another one of those things they got lucky. It was their year last year. That's what happens. I mean, everything went their way.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not going to happen again this year. I've been saying that too. And some Red Sox fans at least are smart enough, I've been talking to on Twitter, and they're saying now, yes, we do view the bullpen as a concern. We're very worried about that issue because they didn't make it better. They lost 2 of their better relievers in it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a problem. They don't have a true closer.
Nope.
So that's going to be a problem. Also, Nathan Eovaldi, Steven Pierce will have some form of regression. They played above their heads. They're not going to stay playing that good. And also, JT Martinez and Mookie Betts had career seasons. It's almost impossible for them to replicate those seasons.
Yeah.
If they do, hats off. I'll be like, damn, these dudes are legit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not great players. They're very good players. But they're still going to hit probably over 300 and get a bunch of homers, a bunch of RBIs, move steals bases. But to ask them to do what they did last year is absurd.
I agree 100%. It's just, I agree with Kimbrel. I think that he definitely has a lot in the tank.
He's still a good closer, but he values himself too highly. That's the other issue.
A lot of players value themselves highly.
Yeah, that's
but
true. The agents and stuff.
Agreed with 6 years. Get that out of your head.
That's
You're not getting it. No, stop it.
He needs to settle for 4 or 5. Yeah. At this point, maybe even 4 or 3.
Listen, sometimes you gotta settle. When something's not working your way, you gotta come down. If you
do you actually think this dude's not gonna play? Do you think?
No, he's gonna play. He's too good not to play. He's not gonna pull a Le'Veon Bell. He's not gonna do that. Okay,
that's never happened in the MLB. Imagine he makes history.
Like Le'Veon Bell started a trend.
I would worry about DeMarcus Lawrence or Frank Clark with that, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, that's just
so. All right, Red Sox, forget them. It's Yankees, baby. So let's break this down, brother. So I have 2 or 3 burning questions for you, then we'll probably wrap this up.
Okay.
So, rotation, who do you want behind? There are 3 guys. Do you want us to experiment with the opener with Chad Green maybe and have Herman Cessa come in after? Do you want us to do Herman, Cessa, or Loaizica? Who do you want taking the 4-5? Tell me, what do you want? Based off what you've seen, I don't know how
what
much
I've seen, and I'm going to tell you this
from what we've seen from previous years. Go ahead.
I think Herman definitely deserves a shot. I definitely do.
Okay.
I think that you know what, Cessa. You know what? Actually, am I not mistaken? Hasn't he not been doing bad?
I need to come around on Luis Cessa. I tweeted the other day that I apologize almost. I wanted to get in front of this. I was like, the only thing is what I want to see him do in the regular season, but he's impressing me in the spring so far.
Okay, so
I think he is a candidate for a rotation spot.
I think that for the 4-5, it's going to be Herman and Cessa and Loaizica. Yes, bullpen. Yes.
Okay, so I think that what might happen is I agree with you. I think Cessa might actually get the spot at this point because he's pitched better than Loaizica, and the Yankees have held on to him for a reason, so they might as well see if he has it since he's looked this good. But I think that I have an interesting theory about what they're going to do with Herman.
Yeah.
I think they're going to use Chad Green as the opener potentially, and then Herman's going to come in after him because Herman has problems in the first inning.
Yeah.
So they might try to see if they have someone else pitch the first or second, maybe he could just come in and dominate for a few innings.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, but it could very well be they might just try him starting, like you said. Loaizica and Tarpley are going to have to be in the bullpen, I think.
Yeah.
Most likely, especially with Betances being out now.
Of course.
So. And then, so that's that. That's how we view the rotations and lineups. No, actually, we didn't do lineups. So, since Aaron Hicks isn't playing, you have to assume Brett Gardner is going to be in center field because he's the only capable center fielder.
Course.
Then you would think that left field would be Stanton, right field Judge, first base Voit or Bird, and DH the other one. Is that how you're feeling about this?
Yes,
because they've both been hitting well in spring. As much as we don't like Greg Bird, you know what? Listen, I'll give him another shot. Let's see if he could actually do in the majors. I just want to see it. We've seen this before, though. I don't want to be. It's fool's gold with Bird and Cessa and wait a little bit because we've seen them do this before in the spring.
Yeah.
Then when the lights come on, they forget how to play.
Yep.
So I just want to see if they can get through it this year. They're all young players. They're all going to get shots to play this year. Bird is going to get a chance. We need lefties, like we've stressed a million times.
Yes.
And now, since Hicks isn't playing, I would assume that they're both going to play that first and DH spot.
Yeah.
I guess my other question would be so if we do that, let's see how this bench would look. So if we play first, if we do the first baseman, Bird and Voit are DHing. So then your bench would be, I guess... I don't know about Tulo at short. That's still a whole other debate we'll get into. But he did hit a bomb the other day over left field, so that helps, I guess. But he had been in a slump. DJ has been hitting a little rough too, but I trust him more because he's been playing for longer.
Yeah,
Tulo has been hasn't played in 2 years, which makes me nervous. But DJ's a consistent hitter. I know the Coors Field thing might be an issue, but Yankee Stadium's not exactly this impossible place to hit in, though. That's what I've been trying to explain. But his road splits are very problematic, which could be a problem when we travel other places, maybe.
Right.
So the bench, you're having one of them on your bench regardless. They're going to be on your bench, whichever one you want. Then Tyler Wade is going to have to be called up, most likely. So I'm trying to think how this would go. If you do, I'm assuming we're going to do 13 pitchers, especially since Betances went down. So this would be 12 position players. So Judge, Stanton, Gary, Luke, Bird, Torres, Andujar, Gardner, and then I'm missing one. Who is it? I did Bird, I did Luke, Torres, Andujar. Oh, it's DJ or Tulo, right? One of them. So then the bench is Tulo or DJ Wade. So it looks like this last spot. Oh, Romine's gonna have to be. Mm-hmm. So I guess the only question is very simple. Do you want Wade or Frazier up?
You want to know something? I think I'm gonna have to ride the hot hand.
You want Wade then?
Yeah.
Well, Wade also offers more versatility and he can play more positions, which is going to help his case.
Right, yeah.
And the fact that he can also run. We don't have so much speed on this team per se, so he could be a good pinch runner, especially since Gardner's going to have to play now. So that's might be what we're looking at opening day. And I also think the Yankees want Frazier to get more reps in AAA, maybe build his value down there. He could still be used to the trade trip down the line potentially. And I still think he can still play. I think we just got to see him do it at the major league level. I mean, give him some time to get back to himself. But if he gets called up, I'm fine with that too. I mean, however they want to do it. But I think you're right. I think it's Tyler Wade.
Yes.
I think he's going to get the call.
And
even before this happened, I thought he was going to get the call.
Yeah.
And they were going to do Voit or Bird to AAA, but now, since Gardner has to play center field, it makes no sense not to DH one of them.
Right. And just to talk about all this, it just gets me really excited for the next 9 days. You know, opening day, 28th, 1 o'clock. It's going to be Tanaka against whoever the hell they have.
I think it's still in Bundy.
So
the top three is Bundy, Cashner, and Alex Cobb, I think.
Yuck. Yeah. So 1 o'clock Orioles first series. I'm very excited.
Yes.
Getting back to baseball, and you know what? Talking about all this, I agree with you. All that. I think Wade, he's got the hot hand, more versatility. Versatility is job security in my book. So you know what? Yeah. He's gonna get called up. Frazier, you know what? AAA, I agree. Keep him down there. I personally, in my opinion, I think the Yankees are going to use him as trade bait. If they
get that pitcher
we
need.
Yes, and we're going to definitely be in market for a pitcher, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm just,
Bumgarner, Robbie Ray are two names that I've been talking about a lot. Maybe even Kluber, Bauer, less likely though, it's in my opinion. So even Berrios or Kyle Gibson, I think low-key if the Twins fall out of it.
Yeah.
But that's down the road. That's months and months away. We still have a while till that's an issue.
Yeah. So
hopefully.
So with all this, I agree with you. I just, I'm keeping it in. I'm getting excited. I'm excited, obviously.
I'm pretty excited, too. We're getting close. 9 days,
I can't wait to make that drive. Well, I don't like to drive to Yankee Stadium, but, parking the car, spending $60, $70 on a parking spot.
Well, I thought it was 40, but I know what you mean. It's a lot, brother.
So you
get hosed for, chicken fingers and fries, $15. The beer is about another 11 or 12. By the time you get through it, even without the ticket, you're spending $100 there.
So you know what, we do it because we love the Yankees. So you know what, if at least we know we'll spend money.
At least we're having fun.
Yeah, at least we know the fans will spend money at the front office. So
yes, that's what got me a little upset because it's not like we don't invest in this team, bro. They ask us for the money for parking, okay, the food, the beer, okay, we pay, we go to these games, and we just want them to put it back into the team. The revenue's flatlines, they're not spending more and they're making more. Yes, we finally went over the tax, but we went over the tax for DJ LeMahieu and Adam Ottavino. If you would have told me that before last season, I would have laughed you off this show. I've been like, you're crazy. But no, that's what happened. Ottavino is a nice player, and DJ, to me, he's still good, but, those aren't the guys I was, thinking about when we were going to go over the luxury tax, really.
No, so...
but things happen, I guess, so here we are.
We made our bed and we got to sleep in it now.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's over, but we can still win the World Series.
Yes,
this is still a World Series team.
Yes,
I'm not going to say that we can't win it all.
We're still good enough
Paxton was great, and Britton had full seasons, fantastic stuff. CC and Garner, the veteran glue, that holds everyone down. So I think for today, it's all we have time for this baseball edition, but before we log off, let's talk about March quick.
Yep.
We might as well get that word out there. Whoever watches this video, I'll maybe take a snippet of this later. But Pool, March Madness, GT Sports Talk, exactly how you see our title in the show is how you find the group. The password is Bell Zion, all lowercase. So that's how you join. If you join, hit me up. Let me know who it is.
Hit me up as well.
Bobby as well. $20 for brackets, either one or two. Venmo's our preferred payment because we live in the 21st century now. We don't got to be chasing people down for money no more. So just send that to my
Zelle.
phone.
You could do Zelle
whatever.
too.
Yeah, however you got to get it, that works. But I'm Julian Gallardi.